Sorry about the difficulty. I had some trying to figure out how to work this. First time I've been live on YouTube, so I'm gonna wait for you to get on here. So, and it's cold in here. I just got in the house and the furnace is on, but so. Hey, hiking outdoor family. I'm pretty good. So I had a little technical difficulty with the live stream. I had to delete the schedule one, but that's all right. We're live right now, so. How's the weather where you at? I guess bet it's cold, isn't it? It's cold over here. So I'm gonna wait for people to get on here. So I got 2 people here, so. Yeah, I just got in the house and it's cold in here, so. Yeah, I heard that. They say there's no snowstorms gonna come down here as well, so. Here in Virginia. And they say 2 inches down here. I don't know what they say over there, so. I'll wait for more people to get on here. I'll kind of like tell my background and how I became a YouTuber, so. And also, if you hear some popping in the set, that's my furnace. I live in an old house, and the the furnace isn't actually in the floor. It's one of those things that when it cuts on, it pops. So it kind of the heat expands the furnace. Some sounds back there, so it's no popcorn making back there. So I got 4 people on here. I'm gonna wait for a little while. I'm not in a rush. I got 27 people on here now. All right, like I said, I know I did Instagram. Somebody asked me about the popping sound in the background. I don't know about YouTube. They asked about it, and that's what I said. So. What's going on? I'm gonna wait for more people to get on here. But like I said, I'm gonna tell my background and how I became a YouTuber. Also, bear with me, I got a little cold too. The weather tends to be cold one time, then it's warm. Then it gets wet and dry, and then it's cloudy. So. I'll wait for more people coming in. I'm going to start shortly, so I'm not going to really, stay around that long. I mean, it's not going to be short, but it's not going to be too long either, so. There are aliens landing, okay. I know when I was in North Dakota, North Dakota, I would say that's South Dakota, but North Dakota, there was a restaurant that had, I think it's called Aliens. I forgot, barbecue, something like that, I can't remember. It was shaped as a UFO, and then that's kind of reminds me of that, so. All right. right, guys, I'm going to start shortly here, so just the camera here. Now, you're right, it's dog days of winter. You know, depends where you're at, too. If you're up north, and it's real cold up there. Now, I do remember in South Carolina a long time ago, I at one point, especially near like the Charleston, South Carolina area, it got real cold down there one time, and it got bone chilly too. So some southern states can be real, cold, believe it or not. Even Texas can be cold too, depending where you're at. All right, guys, I want to start. I'm just going to say, my name is Andrew. I'm actually, I started YouTube back in 2022, and actually, just very briefly, it really started as a joke, because before I ever became a YouTuber, I never really wanted to be on camera or be a YouTuber at all, or even hear my voice, even talk on audio. Now, when I was in middle school or high school, there were some people that took courses, they video production. Some people took, drama, and some people took, PowerPoints, in high school, and talked in front of the audience, stuff like that. I never did anything like that, and I never wanted to do anything like that. So, I for many years I never liked being on camera or even talking, on an audio. And I think in time people in the past, especially back in 2005 when YouTube started coming out, and I remember when YouTube started coming out, it really wasn't for personal use. Starting off, and I think when Google bought them out, it became for personal use. And then you had a lot of people going, trying to open up their channels and becoming YouTubers, but but even back then, I heard about that, and I never really wanted to be a part of that. So back in, I had an Instagram account. I still do now, but this was a personal one, and I wasn't really getting anywhere with my account. Put it that way. It was just I barely made it through followers, and I had that account for like almost 9 years, and then, of course, I had to deal with drama. Sometimes you have drama on Facebook, even on Instagram, but I just got tired of that. So I deleted that account, and I wasn't going to use Facebook much either. I still don't really, because I still, I hang out more on YouTube and Instagram than anything else. But anyways, back in 2022, I just deleted my personal account on Instagram and kind of laid off of Facebook. And something in the back of my mind told me to be a YouTuber. So, what's up, Campsite Cruising? North Carolina, my friend. Yep. Hey, National Park Princess. I hope it's warm where you at. Maybe it's cold. I don't know. Anyways, something back in my mind told me to be a YouTuber. I don't know what just clicked in my mind, and I just said I'm not doing it. I think it took me maybe a week to think about it, and then I decided to take that big step, be a YouTuber. And like I said, at the time I thought it was a joke. It started as a joke, and I knew one thing, because I looked at before I became a YouTuber, I kind of looked into it, and I kind of like studied it a little bit. And believe it or not, some of you people out there have YouTube channels, and some just have just a channel just for personal use. They don't really have a channel you maintain and try to grow, stuff like that. That's all right. But YouTube is actually one of the hardest social media platforms to succeed in of all of them, even not. And a lot of people do give up on YouTube. And I know a lot of people actually, have a YouTube channel, and some have it for like 1 year, even up to 5 years, even 10 years. And I know some people had it for like 10 years, and they barely made 1,000 subscribers. And it does happen. And of course, you have those ones who are actually lucky, and they get 1,000 subscribers in the first 6 months, and it happens. Anyways, I saw all that stuff, and I didn't really think I was going to make it, and I didn't think I was going to like it, but ended up, I did YouTube as a travel channel, and which is my other YouTube channel is actually For Amazing Adventures. That's actually my other YouTube channel, which is a travel channel. I do hiking, exploring, stuff like that. And then I think in the first 3 or 4 months as a YouTuber, I did not do well. I think I barely made subscribers. And I think one video I did was a success, that so much, I think it went up from 70 subscribers up to 300 in the first month. And then I did other videos that were big hits as well. And then, of course, it went up to 600. Then when my 1 year mark happened, you know, I think I hit 1,000 subscribers. And then not only I hit 1,000 subscribers in the first year, I did, I was eligible for pay, because I know YouTube, I know you have to have 1,000 subscribers. And then, of course, you have to have 4,000 hours of watch time, which a lot of YouTubers lack right there. And in the first year. So anyways, I did that. I was eligible. It was just really good. So, and then, of course, while I was doing the YouTube channel for my travels and stuff like that, I met a lot of YouTubers out there, especially with the big ones. The ones have like over 100,000 subscribers and, millions of subscribers, like people, famous YouTubers like, Mr. Ballin, Mr. Beast, Casual Geographic, not National Geographic, but Casual Geographic. He does animals. I'm trying to think who else. Oh, Outdoor Disasters. He's pretty good too. If you want to follow him, he does everything about travel and stories about, mishaps of outdoors. And so, I got the ideas from them. Again, when I say ideas from them, it's not like I'm copying them. I got the, kind of like, good advice from, kind of like, I want to be kind of like them, but do my own thing, not trying to be plagiarized, because I'm not like that. But anyways, I decided to do my podcasting. So I did a little podcasting on my other channel. One thing I noticed too about YouTube is, if you want to be successful, on YouTube, you got to stick with your topic. For example, if you do cooking, like I do a cooking channel, you have to, stick with cooking. Don't deviate from it. Or you do travel, do travel. You do podcasting, do podcasting. If you want to do travel, stick with travel. And I mean, the list can go on. Sorry, but yeah, I did a little podcasting when I was with my other channel, and it didn't really go well. I know like a lot of people asked about, like, are you still gonna do travel, stuff like that? So I said yes, but then I got the idea, why don't just open another channel that deals with podcasting and storytelling. And so that's how I ended up with this channel. And then, of course, later on, I opened up 2 Instagram accounts, which I have now, which are very successful. They're not little business accounts. So that's how I ended up with YouTube. It's really started out as a joke. Excuse me. It started out as, kind of like I didn't think I was going to be good at it. And my point is, if you want to be a YouTuber, if you're not, and if you're shy around camera, being in front of the camera, or you just don't like, your home voice heard on the audio, you're not really not the only one. You're not alone either, because a lot of people don't. But, you're talking to somebody who really just did not really want to be on camera. To be honest with you, I didn't really want to be live streaming at all, do audio. But then, of course, I decided to change tracks a little bit and change my mind a little bit. So bear with me, I got a little cold here. But like I said, that's the story of how I became a YouTuber in general. Like I said, it happened back in 2022, and you know, and to be honest with you, no one really ever taught me how to be a YouTuber. No one really taught me how to be a podcaster or storytelling. Now I've seen other YouTubers like Mr. Ballin, Mr. Not Mr. but Outdoor Disasters. The ones who do entertainment or just kind of like, storytelling, dark and mysterious type things, and, I kind of looked at them and it's like, well, I want to kind of do what they do a little bit, but kind of do my own. So it kind of inspired me a lot. So, you want to be a YouTuber or you just want to be a podcaster or do something else, and you don't think you're going to be good at it, you never know when you try it, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, anyone got any questions, you can, put down in the comments below what you got here. Felt the same way. It took me time to get used to talking to a camera, but never me too. Still getting National Park Princess, what's going on? I'm still getting used to talking to the camera. Yeah, me too. And another thing too, I'm gonna throw this out too, personally. When I was growing up as a child, like a young child, and actually I came to this country back in '88, and I was adopted actually. And I spoke a different language barely because I was a child. And of course, my adopted parents never spoke that language. I spoke Spanish coming here a little bit. But, of course, they didn't know Spanish. So, I had to kind of like, you know, had no choice of just learn English. But one thing I've noticed, a lot come to this country, and it happens a lot. And when they learn a different language, a lot of times they develop a speech impediment. And I've always had a speech impediment as a child. Now, and I think that's one thing that worried me when I became a YouTuber because I was afraid that I would say just say things that it will come out, and sometimes it does come out and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I'll talk and just be all right, and sometimes they'll decide to show up. So let me drink water here. Got a little cold here. But like I said, and I still have a speech impediment a little bit, but it's gotten a lot better as I got older. It's not when I was a child, it was a lot worse. But I tell some people that really didn't stop me from, podcasting or being a YouTuber. So it really being a YouTuber has really grown me a lot. And despite how old you get, you really do not. It's really not too late to grow up. I'm not saying in a bad way, but I'm saying really not too late to grow and just change things as you get older. But like I said, that's my story of how I became a YouTuber and how I became a podcaster. Because, like I said, my other channel, Far Amazing Adventures, is actually a travel channel, and I still have it, and I'm still going to grow it. I got more interesting things to do on my other channel as well. This channel, I'm going to do a lot more streams because at first when I thought about doing a live stream, I thought I was just doing one live stream, that was it. But then I decided, I'm going to continue on live streams. And even some of these live streams, I'm going to do some storytelling. Now, I may just take my time at telling stories when I'm at it. So, yeah, it's going to be kind of like a new and a better, I guess, a choice I want to make from the beginning. So, thank you, National Park Princess. You sound fine to me. What else? I only have time to do one channel. Yeah, it's yeah, it's kind of to maintain two YouTube channels, right? It's really going to be time consuming, and another reason why I did two channels, because I always like to prepare myself just in case, well, for whatever reason that I don't have time. Well, I'm going to try to do it anyhow, but have time because I'm going to find a way anyways. But if I don't have time to travel, if my other channel becomes dry, because it does happen as a YouTuber, You're gonna have dry days. You're gonna have times that you don't, you may back off from the channel for a little while. I thought about like if I take every break from my other channel, I can still have this channel because I can do podcasts at any time, even short ones, especially ones for 60 seconds, like reels on Instagram or just, shorts on YouTube. I can do it in 60 seconds, So looking forward to seeing all of your channels grow. I'm so impressed of you're able to coordinate multiple channels. Yeah, you do good videos to definitely do at your pace. Campsite cruising, thank you. Yeah. So yeah, if you got any questions, got any concerns, not concerns, but got any questions, that's why I said that. If you got any questions or any about your channel, you're more welcome to post on the comments below. And also, like I said, I can tell you tips about YouTube if you want to be a YouTuber. Like I said before, YouTube is a challenge. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say, hey, it's going to be a good experience. But a lot of times people get discouraged, and concerned about their channel not, you know, succeed. But one thing I learned this saying as a child. There's this woman named Beverly Sills. Some of you know who she is, and others don't. And she was a famous person at one time. And she said at one time, you will be disappointed if you fail, but you're doomed if you don't try. So if you don't try something, you're gonna, doomed to fail anyhow. So, and they always say that the greatest risk you can ever take is not take one at all. So, let me look at the comments below. There you go. That's great. You're close to National Park Princess. You know what? National Park Princess, back in, I think, last year, but it's 2025, but 2023, I had to think about it for a minute. When my YouTube channel, my other one, was actually starting off, and I was around 70 subscribers, you were actually one. I would say the first one, because I had subscribers before, but they were just people that were they had Google account, because you got to think about Google is YouTube. YouTube is Google. Google out YouTube. So if you have a Google account, you can subscribe and follow and comment on a YouTube channel. But I had people who just had Google accounts and just came in, just liked and whatever. But National Park Princess, you were actually one of the first people that actually were, had a channel, and you started out the time I did, where it looks. And I just want to thank you for that, by the way. And there may be some on here that were with me from the very beginning. They just, I don't know which one, but of course, they don't really say much. Some people just don't, but that's fine. Let me read their comments below. Yeah, I remember that too, National Park Princess. Yeah, I remember too when you started off very small and you had some videos that were big hits. And sometimes on YouTube, you do have videos that were big hits for whatever reason. The funny thing about YouTube is, there's some videos that I posted that I didn't think it would go well. You probably know what I'm talking about. And there are some videos that I posted that I didn't think it was going to go well. I thought this is going to be a flop, and like I did one for Audie Murphy. That was the one that gave me the lot of subscribers, and I still have it on my other channel, Far Amazing Adventures. But the one with Audie Murphy was a U.S. soldier back in World War II. He was the most decorated soldier. He was a hero. He had Medal of Honor. He was an actor. He played in a lot of movies. Of course, he died in a plane crash. And I visited his crash site in Brush Mountain in Virginia. Did a video there, and that ended up having a lot of subscribers. It went up a lot. And so when I did that video, the funny thing about that video, I did the video, I posted it, and I think in the first 3 or 4 hours, it went up to seven, I guess, viewers. And I thought, it was like that for several hours. And I thought this is going to be a flop. 7 views for a famous, man. So that's fine, hiking outdoor fan. For coming on. Have a great day and stay warm. So, anyways, that video I did with Audie Murphy, I think the first few hours it actually didn't do well. I think it did. I think 7 views, and I had like 2 likes, and then I think woke up the next morning it had like 150 views, and then a couple hours after that it went up to maybe 600. I thought, well, this is going to be a good hit. Then I think that and then at the end of the day, the next day, at the end of the day, it was, I think it hit about 2,000 and started going up. So a lot of times you put a video up, you never know if it could become a good hit. You know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of times when I post a video, sometimes there's some videos that I posted that I thought would didn't do well. So, but yeah, excuse me. But yeah, like I said, you never know what you can accomplish. Try it, and it won't hurt to try. Won't hurt to try something, and if you fail, I mean, it happens. So, but yeah, like I said, as a YouTuber, I really started as a joke, and that's what I thought. And I thought it was going to be a joke. I thought I was going to be a joke, and again, like I said, you can't really, um, you can't please everybody, and it's obviously you can't please everybody, and it's always going to be, even if you have a great video you put up, and you got lots of videos that are great that you put up, there is always going to be one or a few in the crowd that's going to, find fault. You got trolls out there. You have, that go to, you know, I started just to see if you could create anything. Yep. And I didn't think I was going to do it either. That thank you, National Park Princess. And by the way, if anybody's watching National Park Princess, Campsite Cruising, Hiking Outdoor Fan, go to the channels and subscribe and follow. Even if you don't like to travel, it's just, interesting to be a part of a community. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, I'm on subject, but yeah, like I said, you're gonna have people out there, trolls out there. And who knows? There's gonna be trolls in this, live stream right now. People watching, so I don't care. But my goal is to do and as a YouTuber and to better myself. And like I said, I come a long way. So that's my story of how I became a YouTuber. And, a stupid spell check, it's supposed to say far out. I was wondering what you said tar out. I mean, there's that I'm not familiar with, but yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, let me look at the comments anymore. But anyways, I'm gonna hop off here. I'm gonna do more live streams. I'm gonna do a lot more. When I do live, I may do something like about my life. It could be like, the time I was in Boy Scouts or something like that, something like that. Of course, I'm not gonna do everything live stream, but I'm gonna do a lot more live stream, and I kind of enjoy this one, especially. I think this morning when I did Instagram, it was kind of, rusty, but that's all right. So anyways, thank you guys for coming on. I thank you guys for following this channel. And haven't, please follow my other YouTube channel at Far Amazing Adventures, which is my travel and exploration channel. And next Saturday, I think I'm going to do a live stream with that channel, but I may do outdoors. I may do it out, somewhere. It won't be indoors like this, and it'll be a little bit different. So anyways, thank you for coming along. Thank you for following. And I really appreciate that. I'm going to get going, and all you have a great night. Stay warm. If you're all in the cold weather, if you're warm, guess what? I'm jealous of you. I'm just joking. But anyways, thank you for watching. I'm going to cut this off.